In lesson 3-2, we're going to be multiplying by the power of 10. Your first vocab word is factors. And factors are the numbers that are multiplied. So 3 times 10 equals 30. The 3 and the 10 are your factors. Any numbers that are being multiplied in a problem are called factors. The product is the answer to a multiplication problem. So in our example, 3 times 10 equals 30. The 3 and the 10 are factors, which makes the 30 the product. You have the word exponent, sometimes called the power. If you've heard a number called to the power of, it's the same as exponent. And power means how many times a number is multiplied. The exponent, or the power, tells how many times a number is used in a multiplication problem. For example, if I have 8 to the second power, that's what the little 2 means, that 2 tells me that I'm going to have, there's our exponent, I'm going to have 2 8s in my math problem, or 8 times 8. If I have 7 to the third power, or 7 with an exponent of 3, that tells me I'm going to have 7 3 different times. 7 times 7 times 7. So if we know that little number up top is called the exponent, then the base is the number that's being multiplied. So if I have 6 to the third, we know that the 3 is the exponent. That means that the 6 is our base number. That's the number that's being multiplied. So let's look at some examples here using exponents. If I have 5 times 10, well, you should know that that equals 50. If I have 5 times 10, but put another 0 behind my 10 to make it 100, then I know my answer is going to be the same, but with one more 0, 500. If I have 5 times 10 with 2 zeros, then my answer will be the same, 50 with 2 zeros, or 5,000. Let's look at this with exponents. If I have 5 times 10 to the first exponent, or to the power of 1, that means I'm going to use 10 one time in my math problem. In other words, 5 times 10 one time. And 5 times 10 is 50. If I go to my second one, I have 5 times 10 to the second power. It means I'm going to have 10 times 10. I'm going to use 10 twice because of the second power. Well, I know that 10 times 10 is 100. 5 times 100 is 500. And if I have 5 times 10 to the third power, I know that that just means 10 3 times. 5 times 10 times 10 times 10. See, I have 3 different 10s there. And 10 times 10 is 100, and 10 times 100 is 1,000. So really it's 5 times 1,000, which equals 5,000. You can see that the exponent shows how many zeros in my answer. Let's do some more practice. If I have 120 times 30, well, I can just use what I know with 12 times 3, and I know that 12 times 3 is 36. And then I just have 2 zeros to put behind it, 0, 0. So 3,600 ends up being my answer. If I have 110 times 2,000, I can take what I know. I know 11 times 2. I can put the zeros in at the end. So I'm just going to do 11 times 2, which is 22. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So I add 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros to the end of my problem, and it's 220,000. Let's look at some exponents. 3 times 10 to the fourth. I know that the power of 4 means 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. But that power of 10, or that little 4, means how many zeros I'm going to have. Because 10 times 10 is 100, and 100 times 10 is 1,000, and 1,000 times 10 is 10,000. In other words, 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 10,000 times 3. 3 times 1 is 3, and then there are 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros behind it, or 30,000.